So you're most welcome once again to Tebi Talks. In today's video, we're going to look at how we can write a letter. We're going to be looking at the formal letters. But first and foremost, we want to see what do you think letters are used for? Why do we use formal letters? First and foremost, we use letters for business correspondence. In terms of communication, business have to communicate with each other. Business customers have to communicate to their suppliers, and suppliers have to communicate to their clients and also to the manufacturers. So they use formal letters. They write letters to each other telling them how the business is running, telling them about the new services, the new products in the business. So if you are running a business, you need to learn how to write a letter because you'll use it to write to your clients, you will use to write to the suppliers, and you will also use it to write to the government. The other thing is about job application. We are in the era whereby uh, as a human being, you need to have what to do, which is in the form of a job. So, for you to acquire a job, you need to write an application letter. An application letter must be in form of what? A formal letter. It should be a formal letter which is written to the company, which is written to an organization that you want to work with. The letter should be attached with a CV. So, when you know how to make a formal letter, it's going to help you when you are looking for a job. Then we talk about when you talk about job, of course, at the end of the day, you cannot do the job for the rest of your life. You may wish to retire or you may wish to resign. So a formal letter works as a tool for communication or communicating the resignation and retirement at the end of the job. So now you can see how important letters are. What about the when you want to request? Maybe you are working in an organization and you want to request something from the manager. You want to request something to be done. You want to request maybe your employees, your subordinate. You want to any field you are in. A request is the order of the day. So you write a formal letter when you're requesting so that what you're requesting becomes formal, it is respected. So knowing how to write an official letter will give you the power, especially when you are doing what? When you are requesting. Then we have academic and education. If you're a student, if you're a teacher, if you are having any duty you work you do in education sector, you will have to write letters. As a student, you write a letter requesting for any changes, requesting for admission, requesting for placement, requesting for anything. As a teacher, you have to respond to the students, you have to respond to fellow teachers, uh, you have to apply for jobs, you have to resign, you have to retire. As administrators in the school, you have to write several letters. Every day you make letters, you write letters to the parents, you write letters to the stakeholders. So in education, we use letters so much. That's why we are saying that having the knowledge of writing a formal letter is going to help you, especially if you are in education. Then we also talk about government correspondence. In a scenario whereby the government want to correspond to certain things, they have to write letters. They write letters uh, the uh, to the commissioners. They have write letters to people in the field, to the readers, the local readers, and then they have also to write public letters to the community, telling them, "Hey, we have this and this. We want to do this and this. We want to implement this." So the government use this to communicate to their people, and then the people also use letters to communicate to the government. If you are a group of people and you want a certain matter to be heard by the government, then you have to write a letter. You have to make a formal letter, which is either directed to the parliament, which is either directed to the minister of a certain sector. So, understanding how to use or how to make a formal letter is something which is so key and which is very important. Then we talk about networking, the professional networking. This is the way people coordinate. Different sectors have to coordinate. Like you are working in different industry, maybe you are in communication, the other one is in health, the other one is in transport. So as networking agencies, you need to write letters trying to see how you can integrate different components with each other. So having the knowledge of formal letters, it also gives you an advantage, especially when you want to coordinate. Then let's talk about legal matters, guys. Legal matters, this is whereby you raise a complaint, or there's a certain dispute which has arisen, and then you decide to go in the court. You decide to go and finish the matters with the legal department. So you have to write a letter to the court, directing the court to do, or requesting the court to do ABCD. The court or the judges and all that kind of, they also have to write a letter to their clients, summoning them or telling them to do this and this. So if you have a career in working in a legal department, having the skill, or if you're already working there and you don't know how to write a formal letter, this video is for you. It's going to help you from today and onward. Apart from that, maybe the other thing I can talk about is in health. Of course, doctors write letters to the patients, telling them, like directing them on what to do. And then even the patients have to make like appointments, or I mean, have to write letters to the doctors and to telling them, requesting something. So all that lies under the request and correspondence. But then the other thing, which is so much important, is about fundraising and donation. This works majorly in non-profit organization and charitable entities. So if you want to fundraise, from a certain amount of money that directed to a certain cause, then you may decide to write a letter to the public telling them, or describing about the cause, describing about the problem you are trying to solve, and then tell them, hey, I have this problem I want to solve, but I can't do it without your support. I can't do it without support. So when you write a letter which is well organized, communicating the real cause, the real problem, then the public may come in and start donating towards that cause. So now you have seen that a formal letter is something which is very, very important. It's something which is needed right now. Right now. I know most of you know how to write to make it, either on paper by writing with a pen. But now we are trying to see how can we make a formal letter in a computer, type it, format it, then send it electronically via an email, attach it as an email, or uh, attach with other documents like the CV and other supporting papers. That will give you the morale, that will give you the power to win in this digital world, because now we are in the world whereby you don't have to carry an application letter in your hand and take it to a human resource who is far away, a lot of kilometers far away. You have to use an email address. You have to send using an email address, and now I'm going to be showing you step by step how you can write an application letter using Microsoft Word. So to start with, as you can see, my interface. This is Microsoft Word interface. Now, when you are writing an application letter, we are going to use different tools in Microsoft Word. First and foremost, we shall use the font. We shall go to the Home tab. When you go to the Home tab, you see a group called the font. We shall use font match to style, select the font name, how you want your letter to look like. Then we shall also make the use of the font size, which kind of the size, the character that you put in your letter, which kind of size do you prefer to use. And then we shall also use something to do with all the sentence casing, and then alignment. We shall use alignment so much when we are making letters. This alignment are in form of alignment left, alignment center, alignment right, and then justified. We shall also use what we call line spacing and paragraphing. We're going to see how we can add spacing in our paragraphs and our characters. And then after that, we shall also go ahead and look at the page layout in form of the margin. Which margin are we going to use? We have margin normal, narrow, and so on. Then we shall also look at the headers, how we can add headers and footers. We use headers to put more details like the name, your address, and maybe the purpose of the letter, especially when you are making headed letters in an organization where you intend to write as many letters which are the same. You can decide to come up with a headed letter. So here we use what we call the headers and footers. Then we shall, at the end of the day, we shall also learn how to print. We shall use the print setting to show you how you can print your letter if you want to come up with a hard copy. So to start with, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to use my interface here. So on this interface, of course, you know the format of writing a letter. Now, first and foremost, you have to go to to home page, then you go to alignment. When you reach on the alignment, you have to select alignment light. When you say alignment light, the cursor will have to go to the right. Then you have to put your name. You have to put your name. The name is, I'm going to use Kiza John. That's your name. After putting your name, you have to put your address. So in this case, I'm going to write this address, John Avenue. And then the next thing I'm going to put that is the address, Trojan Avenue, San Diego, California. Then zip code, and put the zip code, of course, not very necessary, 92116. So now this is what we call the address of the sender. When the person who is sending an application is called the sender, and then the person receiving is called the receiver. So after putting your address, remember also to put your telephone number. Put your telephone number 619. Uh, so that's my phone number. After putting the phone number, then everything is done. You are done with your address as the sender. Then you have to put the address of the receiver. So you go back on the home tab, then go to the paragraph under the alignment, select alignment left. Now from there you say to, then you put semicolon. Now you're writing a letter to who? Maybe assuming you're writing a letter to the human resource, say HR, which organization, say Tebi Talks. Uh, and then from there, where is the address? You can put the address as a 78 Trojan Avenue, San Diego, California, zip code 92116. So you're writing a letter to Tebi Talks organization. Now, from there, after putting the address of the receiver, you come down and then you say re. Re is like the reference. You have to start with V, capital R, capital E, then put semicolon, then a dash, then you say re application. Application for uh, data entry or data analysis uh, position. So from there, after putting the heading, you have to highlight the heading. Don't highlight each and everything. Start from the main subject, and then from there highlight and then underline it. Then after underlining, make sure that it is in bold. You can decide to make this not in bold, and also reduce the size. Can reduce the size and to 14, and don't put it in bold. uh, Even this one size 14, not bold. You can also decide to make this size 14. That's now you can see I'm using the font size, and then remove it out of bold. And then from there, you can also use to this as size 14, but you have to make it bold. Make it bold. So from there, go to a new line by use pressing enter, go to a new line, and then here this is where you start your bara bara bara. You have to write each and everything here, this and this and this. Like you write everything about you. After writing all your paragraph, after writing all the paragraph that describes you, why you are applying for a job, why you think you are needed. Uh, so here you need to use paragraph formatting. Paragraph formatting, like uh, capitalize each word or capitalize each word, and then from there the line spacing, what do you want to use as line spacing? You can use 1.5 or you can use 1.15. I like 1.15 because if you have too much content to put, you can use that line spacing. It is a bit small. And then the other thing you can do is that uh, the of course you need to know how to format your letter by putting more details if needed. Like if you want something maybe to format something, like you want a certain character, certain word in a letter to bold it and maybe make it italic and maybe shade it with a certain color. But it's sometimes not recommended to shade a letter. You can remove the shading, but to it's recommended like to do some kind of formatting depending on what you're doing and what you're communicating. If the message you're communicating contains a certain keyword that you want the receiver to take note of, then you can highlight it by putting it and put it in bold and make sure that it is seen at the first time, at the first sight, that the person will know, hey, this one's emphasizing on this keynote. So after putting your body, then you have to come to the conclusion and say maybe as waiting while waiting for your good response, comma, I remain yours faithfully. We like using these words faithfully, sincerely, and many others. So you have to know which uh, kind of words to use. Then from there you have to put your name. But before that you have to put your signature. Then you put your name. The name is Kiza John. After putting the name, you have to put the title. Right now, what do you do? Maybe you can say currently volunteer, volunteering as data entry at UNHCR, the New York. So now you can bold this. You can bold the name and your title. Then you can reduce the size the this to 1.0. Then you have to write to know how to put a signature. Now I am going to show you how you can make come up with a signature. But before that, of course, we shall learn how to do digital signature. But of course, uh, this is where you have to sign. This is where you have to sign, guys. Like after writing each and everything, you have to sign. Say this is it. You sign in that space, and now after signing, now each and everything is done. You have the address of the sender, you have the address of the receiver, you have the subject or the topic you're trying to communicate about, and then you have the body. In this body, this is where you write each and everything. I don't know what you'll be writing, but this is where you have to explain each and everything. concerning the application. If it's about data analysis, you say, hey, I am so and so, I have this type of qualification. I need to do data analysis in your position because I know I am fit for it based on this. Then after, you have to thank the person and tell the person that, hey, you know what, I'm waiting for your response. And after that, you have to give a signature. After putting your signature, ladies and gentlemen, you also have to put your name down. So after putting your name down, the other thing you are going to do is that you have to put currently what are you doing, where are you attached, and what are you doing where you attached. And then from there, you can adjust the signature so that it fits in that alignment if you want, but it doesn't matter where you sign. And then from there, you can go ahead and save. When you go to save, go to the file tab. I'm saying when you want to save this letter, go to the file tab. Then from there, select save as, and then browse where you want to save the letter, which directory. So in this case, I want to save the letter to document library. Then you have to put the file name. Then you say this is it, letter to Kiza John. And then is it you want to make it as a Microsoft Word, or you want to make it as a PDF? I would encourage you to make that as a PDF. Then after you save it, now after saving, now you can see my application letter, which is like a PDF, is already saved. I said a PDF means the portable document format, a document which cannot easily be edited or or deleted. So this is very easy and very good for transmitting over the network. So ladies and gentlemen, you see now this is how we can make a letter, and I encourage you to go and try. Of course, we have other things we are going to see. Like maybe I will come up with another video trying to show you how we can make headed letters, where we shall use the headers and footers. We shall also see how we can make the align our subject, like I mean the addresses, so that they're in one line. You know, they have to be in one line, like here you use the tabs on the keyboard or spacing key. Like you want to make all this to start to be on the same line, you can use the spacing so that you move one tab at a go until all this in one line. See, as you can see. So now you can see the address of the sender. They are all aligning in one line. It's well organized. Even this one, the address of the receiver is also on one line. And then we have this. So this is how, ladies and gentlemen, we can write an application letter, and I encourage you to uh, not only application. Yeah, this is for application letter, but this can be any other letter as long as the main subject is what tells what the letter is all about. It can be an application letter for the job. It can be a request letter. It can be a certain communication giving, or any. I've told you about different fields where you can use letters, but this is the format. This is the format. The letter must have the receiver address, the sender address, the subject, the body, and then the conclusion. And this is how we format, how we structure our letter using Microsoft Word. Thank you very much for paying attention. I encourage you to go and try with this, and also remember to subscribe to our channel, Tebi Talks, and also visit our website. And also, if you have anything you want to consult, you can send me a message via my website or via Tebi Talks website, or even my social medias. You can send me a message, then I can show you anything that you want to know about as far as writing letters are concerned. So for now, let's stop here, guys. We love you so much. Thank you very much for paying attention.